So today I will be speaking with my friend Joey about the unexpected passing of his father. He speaks about his emotions, going through the rough time, and how he used his father's passing as a motivation to grow his career, his future endeavors, and as a person overall. Joey also managed to fulfill a dream that he had been wanting for ages, that he knows his father would be very proud. Keep on listening to know more. Hope you enjoy. What up, y'all? Welcome back to Mentally a Badass. My name is Justine, and I have my good friend today. His name is Joey. We have known each other literally since we were children, and since like when he was in football and high school and college and yeah, so today we are going to be talking about how he coped when his father unfortunately passed away. So we're going to talk about his mental health and that. I think that he handled it really well. So I am just super excited to have him on here. And thank you so much for being here, Joey.
No problem. I'm more than happy to talk about how I grew as a person and how I used my father's passing as motivation to keep moving forward and to not give up, because at the end of the day, that's what he wanted.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I really do I love how you have like that outlook and how something unfortunate happened to you and you turn it in a way of like motivation of, doing amazing things in this world and just motivating yourself to just keep growing. So let's first talk about when your father did pass away and like kind of just explain like your emotion, your processing and such.
Yeah, so my dad passed away 2 years ago on May the 16th. He unfortunately passed of a massive heart attack. Initially, it was a really big shell shock, mainly because he did have acute myeloid leukemia many years prior, and he beat it. So it was really not, I wouldn't say traumatizing, but again, it was a shell shock seeing, him completely recover from stage 3 cancer and then unfortunately pass away due to a massive heart attack, which at the end of the day don't really coincide with each other. Cancer is one thing.
Yeah.
And
did a
heart attack is cardiac. Cancer is in the blood.
Yeah.
Cardiac is, of course, with your heart. So those two things don't really go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah.
So it was really, really awakening to see how my father passed away because, again, I hate to say this, but I personally thought he was going to pass due to the cancer.
Yeah.
3 years later, he wound up dying of massive heart attack.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how just like life happens that way. Like honestly, like how we're brought up and we're taught certain things to expect how life is going to like lay out. But it's just insane. Like just like you never know. You never know if someone's just gonna pass away like out of nowhere. Like for me, like personally, like I always try to spend as much time as I can, like with family and like parents and such, because you just truly never know. And it's just insane how it just like came like out of nowhere. And so so basically you would say like it was just a complete like shock how you were blindsided by it. Is that right?
Yeah, so he actually had a couple doctor's appointments that week. He had to get some kidney stones removed actually the following day. So the night he had the massive heart attack, the next morning he was supposed to go in for kidney stone removal.
Right, yeah.
And he just kept saying to my mom and to me, I'm not going in. I'm not going to get those kidney stones removed. I'll be okay. I'm not going to see that doctor. And hate to laugh at it, but joke's on us. He really didn't go to that doctor. He instead went to heaven.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
At the end of the day, he really did not go to that doctor, and he made sure of it. He was not going.
Oh my God. I know I shouldn't be having this face, but it's like the way you're saying that. It's like he kept saying, I'm not going here. I'm not going here. And he didn't. He didn't go. He went somewhere. He went somewhere else. And do you believe in like manifesting and such?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's just, I feel like, and I also like another thing too, like be careful what you wish for. Mm-hmm. Even though I know how this weird sounds, like in a way he like kind of wished to not go to the doctor.
Yeah, no, I get you. He really,
and he got what he
kept manifesting. I'm not going. And at the end of the day, God had a different plan for him, and he wound up going to a different doctor down the road instead.
Yeah. Do you have any feelings of like anger of what happened?
I'll be real with you. Anger in a sense that my father was taking too soon from me, yes.
Yeah.
I'll be real. Since then, the last time I actually went to church was for my dad's passing. I have not walked into church
Mm-hmm.
since then.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to go to a church until I'm fully able to go again. Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, I know it's awful to say to be mad at God, but we
It's a
all
normal
we can
feeling.
all have a right to be mad, whether it's at a friend, at a family member, or of course the big man upstairs. So
Yeah.
I would say yes, I do have still have some anger presently.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel like when something like traumatic like that happens, you do go through, like, you go through anger. And then honestly, like, it's completely normal to get really mad at God because like all these bad things happening, and it's just you kind of like wonder like why was he taken so soon? And it's just like the thing with God is like we don't understand like his workings.
Yeah, he
We
works
don't
in mysterious ways.
exactly my point. And this is just me like, being in a positive note, maybe like could you say that you a lot of what you do today is for your father?
Absolutely. Every day I
So
wake up in the morning, I'd be a better person because of my dad.
exactly. So what would you say some things that you've like done to like change and grow?
So the day my dad passed away, I was one semester into grad school, and I almost dropped out because of my dad's passing.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a step back. I took a week away from classes. All my professors were cool with it, and I sat back and I really said to myself, like, would my dad want this? Would
Mm-hmm.
my dad want me to stop going to school and stop pursuing my dream I've wanted to do for so long?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I can proudly say I graduated from the school I wanted to go to my entire life, Penn State, and I got my master's degree. And truthfully, the only reason why I can say I proudly finished that schooling was because that's what my dad would have wanted me to do. That's one of the biggest
Exactly.
things I could take away from my dad's passing and me growing. Another thing I would say that I took from that is my father always had a mindset that if you believe in something, no matter how crazy it is, no matter how many people think you're wrong, stand up for it and believe in it.
Yeah.
And to this day,
You are like
I believe in anything I say. I wholeheartedly believe in it.
you are, and that's like one thing like I love about you is that you don't give a fuck about what people think about you. Like I'm gonna say it just like that. He don't give a fuck. Literally.
Your opinion on what you think of me is worthless.
Like no, that's like honestly I respect that because there's like a lot of things that actually I feel like what we've learned I feel like what I've learned is that we actually agree on a lot of different things, but I feel like we agree on more than we disagree, but we like vote for different people.
We most certainly vote for different people.
Yeah, but I mean we both we respect each other's because our friendship is more important than politics. So but honestly like you're just the way your beliefs are, a lot of people would like be like, yo, fuck you. But because of how passionate you are about the you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Most people would be like, I'm not talking to you, fuck off. Like
and that's fine. At the end of the day, the only person you truly need to impress is the person you're looking at in the mirror.
Okay, so as I was saying, when I go into your room and I saw your big flag that I didn't agree with, I'm like, ugh, but it's okay. He's my friend, and as long as he treats me right, that's okay. Even though we try to like, well, we have a lot of conversations about it too, but we don't have conversations where we end up like yelling at each other.
One important thing I wish people would understand in life is everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you don't have to agree with it.
Yeah.
Just respect it.
Yeah.
Whether it's about politics, whether it's about life in general, whether it's about what you want to eat for dinner, whether it's what you're drinking with your dinner,
How dare you drink that water in front of me?
But at the end of the day, we're all human.
Are you...
And we need to take a step back and stop criticizing and actually understand why people think the way they do, why people act the way they do. And saying's really corny, but like until you actually walk a mile in someone's shoes, you really don't know what they're going through.
Didn't we just have this conversation like not that long ago?
I'd say so.
Look at his face. No, you can't look at his face. But like,
if you saw it,
you know what I'm talking
Absolutely,
about. Because you're saying something, you're kind of contradicting something, Joey. I think you and I should have a podcast just talking. Okay, so after feeling that anger, what did you feel after that?
After the anger, one of the biggest things that I personally felt was, as weird as it sounds, is closure. Like, I understand my dad passed 2 years ago, two and a
Mm-hmm.
half years ago, like 2 and 3 months now. But like, it didn't take me, I wouldn't say it didn't take me that long to fully get over his passing, but I found comfort knowing that one, my father was in a better place due to his health. And that at the end of the day, he was no longer suffering anymore because all we saw was the outside pain he felt and what he told us. We never knew what was going on the inside.
Yeah.
So he could feel, on a scale from 1 to 10, the pain he can be telling us is like a 2 or a 3. But inside, it could have been an 8 or a 9, but he can't really express that.
Yeah.
So knowing that he no longer felt that pain really helped me find the biggest piece of closure, knowing that he was finally at peace.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, yeah, so he seems like a person who just doesn't like to, well, not like, or doesn't really talk much about what's going like on the inside pain wise, as not as vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I guess it is definitely a lot of comfort knowing that like he's out of that pain and he's, I was going to say living best life, but he's not living his best life.
I mean, he is living his best life.
Yeah, there you go.
He's with his mom and dad. He hasn't seen in a long time.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. And can you talk about other things like personal growth wise? So you said college, and what else?
Another big thing. I would say since my dad's passing, like the first couple months, my mental health was complete shit. I'll be honest, I would cry a lot. I was very anxious. I'd lash out at my mother.
I've never seen you cry.
I cried.
I've seen you anxious.
I would lash out at my mother for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it still sucks. I still feel horrible that I would do that. But my mental health has grown significantly since then. Mm-hmm. I'd be lying if I said I don't get anxious or I don't get depressed anymore. Mm-hmm. But it's not about my father. It's about different things. It's about, when I wake up in the morning, one of the biggest things I get anxious about, truthfully, even though I say I don't care what people think of me, part of me still worries about what people think of me. And, mm-hmm. In grad school too, like I would literally change my outfit 5 times before I would walk out the door.
Really?
Absolutely.
How do you have to dress? Just like
I would literally put on an outfit, look at myself in the mirror, and say, "Nah, someone wouldn't think this is cool." So I changed.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think you were like that.
Absolutely.
Can you talk more about I felt like when I knew you in college, I felt like you were more anxious then. I don't know.
I absolutely was. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder on January 1st, 2018.
I love how you have the exact date.
Absolutely, on New Year's Day. Because I said to myself, I need to figure out what's going on. I need to understand why I'm thinking the way I am. So I went to a doctor and got a test done, and right then and there, I was diagnosed with GAD. I was prescribed many different medications, Zoloft, Lexapro, Xanax, just to name a few.
Yeah.
And I hated the way I felt on them.
Yeah, those are horrible.
It. Like I felt emotionless. Like I fail a test.
I felt like a zombie.
Literally, I felt like a walking zombie. Like I'd fail a test and I'd be like, all right, cool. And I would just throw the paper out, and it's just like
anxious anymore.
And it's just like I don't want to feel that. I want to feel emotions.
You want to feel like a human. When you question for you, like medication wise, when you felt like a zombie, I feel like when I got on my medication, I feel like it's normal to feel like a zombie in the beginning because your brain is like, what the fuck is going on? Did you how long were you on it before you're like, fuck this?
I took it for a solid 8 months.
Okay, then that's good. I was gonna say if it was like a month, then I would say you would have to wait a little longer.
I was taking it for a solid 8 months, and I still felt like a zombie even after that. And that's when I said to myself, I'm done. I'm not taking this crap anymore, and that's it.
Yeah.
One thing I really, really like to do, I know it sounds corny and all, but I love square breathing, and I love yoga. Just 10 minutes of yoga, a couple times a week.
We should do yoga together.
Yoga goes a very long way.
It does.
Because it really conditions your breathing. And when you're anxious, you're having a panic attack, the number one thing you need to do to calm yourself is the breathing.
Yeah.
And certain yoga positions that you do makes it really not difficult to breathe, but when you're in a certain position you're not normally in, the breathing is really difficult.
Yeah.
So and when you have an anxiety attack, you can't really, not that you can't breathe, but you're hyperventilating, you're breathing a lot faster. So by having that little bit of yoga in my background, it helps me with 1, composing myself, and 2, separating my breaths so that way if I am having a panic attack, I can slowly get out of it because of my breathing and so forth.
And it's also just learning, pretty much you're learning how to breathe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
No one really realizes
breathing is important. I know you got to breathe to stay alive, but the way you breathe is important.
Yeah.
Literally, if you breathe too much, it's not good for your heart. You breathe too little, it's not good for your heart. You got to find that correct ratio to truly have that correct flow of oxygen going in and out, in and out.
Yeah, and also I think too, at the end of the day, your anxiety literally like calming your brain is very important. And I've been using something called Health Vape. I feel like that's not sponsored. I wish it was sponsored me. That'd be great. It's called Health Vape, and I actually have one over there. I have an energy one though, and I had a soothing one. Oh my god, it changed my life. I need to buy another one. It's pretty much a vape for like essential oils.
Okay.
And it's like amazing. Honestly, I felt like super zen, and I'm like, it helped me, especially like when I'm having like a really bad day. And I don't know, I felt better. Like I felt healthier, like in, upstairs.
Health Vape?
It's called Health Vape.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. So I've been doing that, and I'm trying to think what else I do for anxiety. I don't feel like I even get that much anxiety like I used to. I just feel like overcoming fears and just being like having a certain attitude in life has really been helpful.
Another big thing I like to do to help with my anxiety, listening to music, but like not with lyrics. Like find your favorite song and just listen to the instrumental version of it.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really
music
cool.
overall
I think
just helps me.
that really helps a lot,
There's a thing called music therapy.
Music therapy.
It's a thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Another thing too, there's one specific artist I like a lot. R.I.P. His name is Mac Miller. He had a lot of mental health issues.
Yeah.
And a lot of his songs, especially his most recent album, not his posthumous album, his most recent album that he put out before he passed, it's called Circles. It's all about his anxiety, his depression, and pretty much how he felt. Yeah. And I don't want to say I can completely relate to what he's saying because no one can relate to anybody completely.
Yeah.
But the way he was talking, the way he described the pain he felt through his songs,
I love listening to that kind of music.
I really vibed with it. And to this day, it still helps me. And I don't know, there's this one song, it's called 2009. And just the melody in it, the way he presents his fears, the monsters and demons inside of him, and the way he talks about how he overcomes it, like that's one song I truly say I listen to every single day.
Really? I gotta listen to it.
2009 by Mac Miller.
Gotta remind me, I gotta listen to it. Yeah, honestly, music is pretty much what like saved my life kind of thing too, because without music, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot more artists out there who are very open about their mental health and they put it in their music, and it truly helps so many people. Juice WRLD?
R.I.P. Great rapper.
Yeah. I love his music.
I agree.
Truly,
he's a really good artist.
He's amazing when it comes to like talking about his mental health but it's also just kind of like depressing too, because knowing what happened to him and like listening to everything that he's saying in his songs and how much anxiety, how in deep depression he is, and like how he feels like he always has to be on drugs to just feel okay, and then he died from a drug overdose, right?
Yep.
And it's just so sad, like hearing everything that he is going through. Like, was anybody like helping him? Like, I mean, we don't know, obviously. We don't know like where his life was. Obviously, we don't know him personally. But it's just so upsetting, like hearing artists like speak about that and then they're gone. And then like,
I think it's kind of ironic how there's rappers who just talk about having sex.
Oh yeah, like big booty hoes and shit like that.
And like they're still alive, making money, and people love it. But then you have actual artists who actually spoke about causes and reasons and spoke out about certain things like mental health and the stigma behind it, and they're no longer here.
It's so it makes me just
like it's kind of fucked up the way that works.
It's truly, there's still, have you ever heard of NF?
I haven't.
He's another one that's amazing. He talks a lot about mental health. He's still alive, so I'll show you NF. But yeah, NF's great. Logic.
Absolutely, Logic.
Yeah, he's the suicide song. He's still alive. I haven't listened to him lately. Has he? I don't know if he's even posting.
He remade one of his underground albums, but he is coming out of retirement, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive that he's coming out with a new album in 2022.
Okay.
Another good artist too. I know he talks a lot about like alcohol and partying too, but there are some songs that he has that is about life and anxiety. Post Malone. If you actually,
I love Post Malone. I see
listen to his lyrics, it's a lot more than just the partying and the booze and staying up all night. Like he truly does. And like one of his song Paranoid, he says a paranoid man makes paranoid plans.
Sure.
And it's interesting. It's really interesting how it works that way.
Yeah, I've been really obsessed what you probably know if you watch my Instagram stories. I've been like obsessed with Nessa Barrett and Jaden. I don't know. The music's good, and I just feel like it does talk about like mental health. It's kind of like it's not like fully positive, being like, okay, we're gonna all be okay. It's kind of like a little dark, but it's a relatable kind of situation. And like, I mean, there was a time of my life, like there's a song called Better Off Dead by Jaden. And the lyrics itself was kind of like dope. Like it was basically saying like, oh my God, basically he was comparing mental health to weather. So he'd be like, oh gosh, I wish I could remember the exact lyrics. But basically it was just saying like how he feels this and this and this. He's like, he feels like he can't get out of that funk and he just feels like he's better off dead. So there was a time in my life, like now I feel my mental health's doing really good right now. But like about literally probably like 2 years ago, I was in that headspace and I had that thought process. But and now I just like hear it. I'm like, okay, I'm like, I still, it's kind of a song where I still like jam to it kind of thing, even though the lyrics is just so like dark. But, and then also he has a song called Pray. That was the first song I heard from him. And that song, I actually would like still like cry listening to it. It's really good.
It's kind of weird though that you say that because mental health really is a lot like the weather.
It is.
One day you're
lyrics.
One day you're all happy like the sun shining, and then there's a day where you're all cloudy and rainy, where you are upset and depressed. And that's honestly a really good analogy because mental health really is like the weather.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the lyrics because I want to show you it. It says here, it's been cloudy with a chance of anxiety. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's been cloudy with a chance of depression. Broke my heart and I learned my lesson. It's already over my head. It's been cloudy with a chance of anxiety. Can't keep out the demons inside of me. Maybe I'm just this right here. That's how I felt like 2 years ago, where it's just like I felt all of that, like literally demons inside me that like, and I'm just like, all right, well, but no, I'm good now. But that's why I'm talking about it. Because at the time I wasn't. At the time I was just keeping to myself with everything. But yeah, and honestly, like the song is bomb. Like it's so freaking good. Yeah, he's great. And then the song Pray that he's done, I really like turning into a music podcast. Pray lyrics are like, this one is kind of a little like, he basically, like this was like his first one I think that came out. And he pretty much puts like, heaven only knows when I'm in hell, none of my friends can even tell. That one hit home. Because there was a time in my life where I'm just like, I was in the dump and literally nobody noticed it. So I just went through it alone.
It's crazy what a fake smile can do.
Yeah, and I'm just apparently, even like when I wasn't like all bubbly Justine, like people still wouldn't notice it. And so and that's why I'm just like, I was in that position. And then the whole, I pray to God, let me die in my sleep. Like that is dark, but people get to that point sometimes where they like literally pray, like, just take me. Like, it's kind of like, I'm too scared to kill myself, so maybe God will take me. And then like people are praying for it and like don't get it, but then people who aren't, like, I know I'm kind of getting a little deep here, but
no, but it's the truth though.
It is true. And that song really like the song is so freaking good. And the music video is amazing too, because it shows like him as a ghost and how he sees, basically, I guess he like dies. He commits suicide, jumps off a bridge. And then like in the music video, he's a ghost and he sees his family, how they react to it. And they're seeing that. So that's when he's just like, no, I shouldn't be doing that. Like, I have to live. So the music video is fantastic. And I just love his music. And like Nessa Barrett, they're actually dating. They both make bomb music. They're like literally like a power couple. So yeah, music's great. Like honestly, like I wish I can sing.
I have my love for music mainly because of my dad. When I was younger, he would always play like old music, like the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and to this day, I love the Beatles because of my father. There's many things in life I love because of my father. Beatles, music specifically, politics, Star Wars. At my dad's funeral, I said the eulogy and I ended it with the Star Wars quote, which was, of course, "May the Force be with you."
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge Star Wars nerd because of my dad. I was maybe 5 or 6 years old. And I was just sitting down, and he looked at me and he was like, "Want to watch Star Wars?" And I was like, "Okay." And I'm so glad I said okay, because Star Wars in itself truly is. It's not only is it a story, but it's about overcoming your fears and your demons inside. Like Anakin Skywalker, for example, he had so many demons inside of him, so much built up anger. And I'm not going to ruin Star Wars for people. We all know who Anakin Skywalker is.
Mhm.
But like he, throughout the movies, he found a way to cope with those demons and find a way to express himself without. I guess he did cause destruction, but he found a way to express himself in a way that he was able to find comfort with it. And that's another thing that I'm able to do because my dad, by showing me Star Wars, I'm able to express myself through ways that I find comfort. And that's through music, through yoga, through playing sports, through politics, through investing. And that's all certain things that I picked up because of my father.
So thinking about it now, like the takeaway here, you've realized a lot since your father has been passing away, and this has turned into a complete like transformation in your life. Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He pretty much told me, stand up for what you believe in and don't give up fighting for it. And it's kind of the reason why I moved out to Florida. He wouldn't want me to stop living out my dream. And here I am, 25 years old, happy as can be, living out my dream.
I know you are. And I'm so happy for you. And I'm so happy that you're now in person with me now. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast and sharing your wisdom. And for all people listening, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or morning or whatever and such. And stay tuned for the next clip. I'll be talking about when next episode is going to be. Definitely follow me on social media. It will be in the description. If you want to follow Joey, I'll have it in there. He may be on social media. He may be not. We'll find out. But yeah, thanks for listening. All right, so next week's episode, we are going to be talking with the founder of the nonprofit Start Day One. And let me tell you, this conversation blew my mind. His whole philosophy on mental health is very unique, that of something I've never heard before. So make sure you listen to next week's episode.